Hello and welcome back to the presentation. In this presentation, I'm going to showcase this another enemy class, which for this game is called the Brute class. So basically, brutes are more like those heavy enemies with weapons such as sledgehammer, and they throw hatchets at the player. So that's the main. That's the main ability that they do. The other thing is that they're tanky and they take less damage as they uh, as they get attacked by the player. One of the main things that I wanted to make sure is when they are, and if the player decides to melee the brute class, they should be able to defend themselves. So when, once in a while, when you're doing a melee attack on the brutes, they will have this dodge mechanic where they will put a sledgehammer in front of them, and they will defend themselves from the attack. So right now we see that the brute is in the idle state as it's just moving around in the play space. But if we decide to run, which emits sound and reports the noise event in the game, they will get alerted. So right now, if I just decide to run, so as you can see, the detection meter is filling up, and if you're out of a certain range, they will start by throwing a hatchet at you. But in this case, we are still within the range, and so they chase you after and do this this melee hammer swing attack where you can see these capsules forming up like over here as well, so you can very easily dodge this out. Like you can see these hatchets that brute throws once in a while when you're sort of out of range when it's still in the attack mode. So you can do this dodge roll and save yourself from the attack. So now let's try meleeing the brutes. So the camera, yeah, you see they use their hammers to sort of dodge the attack from that's coming from the player. And it does deal them a bit damage, like a 2 to 3 damage points, but not that much. So if I go over here again, right there. So it just and if you keep spamming the melee combo, and eventually you win, and they just become ragdoll and they just fall down on the ground. So that's the brute class. You can also make them patrol a particular path. So if I click on so here I've already created this sort of like a spline patrol path, which you can which the designers use to create paths of. So I can modify this to have more of a non-uniform patrolling path. So if I assign this path to the brute, they can and if I simulate it, you can see them going towards each points of the path, and sort of patrolling that area, as we can see. So right now the brute is moving slowly because it's in the idle state. So so they'll go to this point over here, and then they'll just go to the next point and the next one. So you can either make them patrol a particular path, or you can just ask them to roam around randomly, which which is totally up to the designers in this instance, which is myself only, to for the stealth part of the game, to decide, okay, how do I want this scenario to play out. So right now, as I see it, I can create this a particular spline patrol path route, and I can get the brutes brute class is to just like walk around that path to patrol that particular area, and then just when they reach the end of the path, they'll just return and keep like do that cycle again. So you can either make them do that, or you can just get them to like roam around randomly to like like some reachable point, some points in reachable radius. So yeah, that's the brute class. Ultimately, they are not that complex as we saw the assault class to be. Like they don't have much communications going on. Like I am planning to add this feature where they communicate, when they're investigating a particular scenario. Because during investigation as well, like I think a lot of the players, a lot of the enemy entities, they will all converge at the same position when they'll get triggered using their perception. So I'm still working on that. Hopefully I am able to implement that pretty soon, get that working pretty soon, and yeah, showcase it to the viewers. Thank you so much for tuning into this presentation.